On the 18th of March 2023, I decided to take a walk around Plymouth city centre to see the reactions of the public after the demolition of the trees in Armada Way earlier on during the week. It became international headlines. Listen to what they have to say. What's your name?
Jen.
What's this all about?
So we're here and we are more than just straw. We are the local people of Plymouth and some visitors.
Yeah.
And we are making it known, our feelings, making our feelings, sharing and expressing the feelings that we have about the loss of this beautiful natural capital in the trees that were felled on Tuesday. It's very sad. It's actually heartbreaking.
I mean, everybody's talked about the trees, but what about the nature that come to the trees? Yeah, we're not. Somebody pointed out on the video I did on earlier on during the week that everybody's talked about the trees, but not about the animals that live in them.
Absolutely. So we've got local blackbirds, robins, long-tailed tits, got peregrine falcons that nest and raise chicks in a building behind us.
And the crows.
Yeah, we have pigeons, which is the wonderful food for the peregrines.
Well, in places like Bordeaux, they actually put out pigeon boxes by the river Goyne, so they look after the pigeons as well.
Yeah. There's a local homeless lady who spent a lot of time here around the trees and getting to know the birds, and she is a huge wealth of knowledge, and we've met her and she's also educated us. In the last 5 months we've spent a lot of time here. Most Saturdays we've got to much more close understanding of the individual trees and the wildlife here, and this is bird nesting season.
So Plymouth City Council reckon that they're going to plant new trees.
Bird nesting season, and it's illegal to fell trees in bird nesting season.
Yeah.
March it starts, and you're not allowed to.
Well, they had that when they pulled down the old life centre. There were birds nesting in the building, so they had to wait for them to finish nesting before they could pull it down.
In the old days when you abided by the law.
So, what do you think of the new plan for the city centre?
Well,
the council is trying to say that they're planting bigger and better trees.
No, it's not. It's not a plan. The trees aren't native. There's a big load of greenwash going on. Those trees can't possibly grow, even though they're semi-mature when they're planted. They can't possibly grow quickly enough to recover the loss of carbon sequestration that these trees did for us.
Yeah.
But actually, the size of those trees, if they are the trees that are going to be planted, can't be bought, can't be sourced in our country. There's only 2 nurseries in the UK that hold trees that are large, semi-mature, and they're not. The trees on the plan are bigger.
Have you seen the plans?
Have I seen the plans?
Yeah.
Well, they're all over. They're behind us on the hoardings.
Did you? I've not had a chance
and
to look properly.
I went to the Guildhall.
Have you? Are there going to be smaller bushes for the smaller species of, like sparrows and things like that?
There'll be smaller trees.
Yeah.
Whether they're trees that birds prefer, they're not native trees.
Yeah.
They are ornamental.
Yeah.
Then they're, Let's see what happens. I don't think it's going to happen.
Are you an independent thinker then, or are you representing an organisation or anything?
I'm both.
Yeah.
I don't believe in alls. I'm both, and I don't know. Maybe I'm a dependent thinker. I don't know. I don't really go around.
Independent.
No, but I don't go around labelling myself. I don't really believe in labels.
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm totally independent. I'm trying to. I very rarely do political videos. My videos are basically looking at the right side of life and people.
It's highly political.
Yeah.
This is highly political. You can't move and do anything. Any.
Not this day and age.
No, it's all political.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And it's based on hypocrisy, most of it as well.
absolutely,
To the extreme.
the contradictions are there, barefaced contradictions in plans, in statements from the council. It doesn't take a lot of thinking really to put two and two together and see that it doesn't stack up.
Well, clerks that don't get out can come up with these ideas, and they're not in touch with the real world in any case.
No, well, with Sheffield Tree inquiry coming out this week, you'd think that anybody would choose a different week in which to create this sort of attention, negative attention.
Well, Chris Peckham's come out against it as well, hasn't he? And,
Many
and the
have.
Royal Society of Protection.
Many have, yeah.
Yes.
But I'd just like to say we did invite all the national media to come out in reports.
Yeah.
A long time ago, much sooner, and we had very little interest. I think it's disgusting that we have to lose things before we're reported. There needs to be preventable and preventive and pro-action. It's no good to be selling papers on scandal. We need to be upfront defending, not mourning.
Well, it's got international news now.
It's too late.
Yeah.
We asked them to come much sooner.
Well, that was the idea, wasn't it? Get them down and then put up with the...
Be informed.
The scandal later.
Make informed decisions.
So what's the latest on the injunction?
We will see what the judge decides.
So good, you did this one.
Yeah, 3 of it.
So hello.
Trees to represent the straw logo.
So what are these? What are they actually? I'm being ignorant now.
Oh, it's going to be a badge.
A badge, yeah.
Yes, or anything. You can sew it onto your jumper.
Yeah, and what's it's about the trees here, is it?
It's the straw logo. If you look at their logo.
Yeah. And what's the straw logo mean? What's it
It
represent?
just represents straw.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, yeah. Oh, straw. Yeah, I've got you. That's the Save the Trees. I'll take a copy of one of those. Let's see your earrings.
Yeah.
Who made that? It's wrong way around.
I did. They're recycled paper.
Okay, cool, nice ones.
And
Where can people get those?
well, I've given them to all the straw people.
Right, okay.
I haven't started commercially selling them, but we do have to raise money now, so I might make some more.
Okay.
And I'm also doing a book of all the poems.
So if the trees are down, what's the raising the money for?
Say again.
If the trees are now
For the
down,
court case, for the legal
got you,
fees,
right,
it's
okay.
going to be massive. I mean, just the injunction cost about 7,000.
how did they get the injunction in the early hours of the morning?
Because there was a solicitor's letter. Solicitor's letter was paid for. Money was raised for that, 2,000.
Yeah.
That letter went, which obviously speeded things up.
Yeah.
And then the injunction was applied for once they started felling.
Yeah.
So they had to go and wake
How
up the
did
judge.
they manage to get hold of somebody at 1 o'clock in the
They
morning?
had to wake them up.
Okay, cool.
So the solicitor that has been employed.
Well, that would cost more money as well, wouldn't
Yes,
it? Out of hours.
loads. So we need to raise an awful lot of money.
Yeah. Well, what's your name?
Mary.
That's a beautiful name. That was my mother's name.
Oh,
Beautiful. Thanks
it's a
very
name
much.
you don't hear very often,
No, it doesn't. It's a beautiful name.
except in church.
Very English. Thanks very much. Take care. Hello, what's your name?
My name's Councillor Chassing. I'm an independent councillor in the Drake Ward just here.
You've been in Plymouth a long time now, haven't you?
22 years.
From Birmingham originally.
Birmingham, born and bred Birmingham, and now in Plymouth, 22 years.
And you had problems with the council at one point as well, didn't you?
I did. I left the Labour Party because I experienced racism. It doesn't matter what they tell you, but what I experience is what I experience.
Yeah.
I'm now actually standing as the independent candidate in the Ham Ward, and I'll be standing against the incumbent Councillor Tudor Evans, OBE, and whoever else will get fielded as
Should be a
candidates.
BUM.
Well, no comments.
So anyway, what's your view on the tree felling?
So the trees has had an absolutely emotive connection, because not just with myself as an individual, but right across the city. So all of a sudden you've got to look at it this way. Here's the thing now, and I think people need to look at the backtrack, the history of this thing. Who brought it in? How it was going to be executed, how it was going to be done, how it was going to be delivered, and everything else that came in between. But the most recent connection really is January the 30th, the meeting there. I would urge a lot of people to watch that meeting. It's 7 hours, 7 hour meeting, open to members of the public, but it is webcast, so you can go online and have a look at the meeting.
Yeah.
A motion was put forward by the independent group led by Nick Kelly, who's the councillor for Compton, aided by myself, Terry Beer, Patrick Nicholson, Stephen Hume, who's councillor in Hamwood. And we were saying, there's the motion. Now, the motion was brought in. What happens is there was an amendment to the motion. At that point, the Greens,
Yeah.
3 councillors, abstained. So they were near.
Can we turn around because we're there.
Neither here or there.
Yeah.
Right? Labour, who are a political party and told how to vote,
Yeah.
abstained. The Tories obviously were going to be against us.
Yeah.
Fast forward this, as I call it, meaningless engagement.
Yeah.
They did that. We all knew what the result of that was going to be, where Plymouth City Council will say, we'll talk to the public, we'll see what happens, and we'll see what they're going to say.
Yeah.
Nothing came out of that. So, in all honesty, that meeting, when that motion got kicked out, the motion had already started for this to happen. It was already in the pipeline.
Yeah.
Then you go back and say, so the meaningless consultation happened.
Yeah.
On March the 14th, 6 o'clock, we get an email to say that an executive decision had been signed off by the Conservative leader, Councillor Richard Bingley.
Yeah.
Fast forward, literally, in the next 2 hours, the movement that happened was just unbelievable. Unbelievable. I came here about 10 o'clock. A traffic regulation order had already been put in place for 8 in the evening till 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
I'd asked one of the contractors. There was armed police here that I saw.
Armed police?
There was an armed
Late at
police
night?
officer.
That's ridiculous.
So on his leg thing, they had.
You know, it's a psychopath who's trained them to shoot firearms.
I don't know anything about that, but this is what I observed. There was a hell of a lot of police presence. There was a security company that had been broken in. There was a security guard with guard dogs in that one over there. I didn't see anybody where you could go to. All they had been told was, if you asked any questions, go on the council website. Go on the council website.
Yeah.
That didn't help really. I took a video, which literally you could hear the chainsaws going in the back, the heavy plant machinery in the back, and literally that tree over there, you could hear the birds singing.
Yeah.
You know, it was unreal.
They're home.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
And to me now, what's happened? And then 1 o'clock in the morning, an injunction was granted.
Yeah.
They had to down tools. By that time, it'd all been done.
Yeah.
They did what
Well, that was the plan, wasn't it? To get it down
in the
before
middle of the
everybody
night.
complained. Yeah.
Yeah, middle of the night when people couldn't do anything, wouldn't be able to say or control anything.
Can I just say, I think it's ironical that Charles Darwin left Plymouth to discover the origins of the species and look after and protecting wildlife.
And here we are destroying the species.
Exactly, from the heart of where Charles Darwin came from.
So now the injunctions happened, we're now left in a scene of destruction, devastation and damage. Yeah, all of these. My headache is, and I think, for members of the public as well, residents, visitors, the coach station's right there.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? You've just come off the coach,
Yeah.
you come through the automatic doors, and you see that in front of you. What is that saying?
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's not very
To the
exciting
individual,
at all.
they'll probably say,
And coming off the train as well.
I don't think
the
I'd
corridor.
visit Plymouth again.
Well, they're not. People
Not
are going.
me,
People
but
are actually
these are
getting people, because of the politics and the anxiety that's created in the city centre. People are getting out of Plymouth.
I think
and I spend
people-
more time out
people
of
are-
Plymouth
people
working
are
than anything
angry.
else.
People
Well,
are
they're fuming with the way the
And-
city's run.
and from
It's
a-
over controlled.
For me, talking about it from a political point of view, the important bit is that if you're angry,
Yeah.
if you're upset, and if this has affected you,
Can I just say something? In order to get Plymouth to move forward, there's got to be a total change of the council system because it's been stifling and holding people back, and it's been very blinkered and narrow-minded in lots of areas as well.
we've seen. I mean, the incumbent that I'm going to be up against
Yeah.
has been there for 35 years.
Yeah,
The city needs change. It needs fresh blood.
it needs dynamic
It
brains.
needs new vision.
Yeah,
It needs purposeful thinking. It needs It needs climate thinking. You know, we're in a state of climate emergency. How much negative impact has this had on the city of Plymouth right now? Yeah.
Well, it's very negative across the country.
Very negative across the country. There's no way people are turning around and saying, yeah, Plymouth done the right thing. However, you look at Sheffield. Look at the issues that Sheffield's had now. You know, they've had their public inquiry. They've said that, you know, people who were responsible are responsible.
Yeah.
You know? So I think Plymouth is keeping a close eye on that at the moment. You know, what happens there will probably have an impact as to what happens
They
here.
don't seem to realise that people are a lot more switched on to what's going on in the world around them and the hypocrisy within the political and legal system now, like never before.
One of the things, and I'll say, just earlier on I was saying that what people have to do, if they're angry, if they're upset, and they're thinking, what can I do? I'll tell you what you can do. People have to exercise their right to vote. You have an opportunity to take out those people who made that decision for this city that night, where those who abstained, and say, we don't want you to lead this city anymore.
Well, a lot of people won't vote because they think they're just voting for the same thing all the time.
If you think that, you're automatically letting those people back in again.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that they had the exercise to do the right to do what they did, so they think. You as individuals and members of the public and residents across the city, you have the exercise, you have the right to turn around and say, actually, you abstained that day, I'm going to vote against you, I'm going to seek out who the independent candidate is, and I'm going to vote for them.
Well, people who've done a lot of good for the city in the past, like Brian, who used to be Sir Francis Drake on the Hoe, he questioned things over Tinside Pool years ago, and the council told him, because he told me, which is on video, that they'd make sure he doesn't get any work in the city again, because he blocked their ideas. And if it wasn't for him and people like him, Tinside Pool wouldn't be there now.
Well, I mean, maybe that was before my time, and I don't want to comment on something that I'm not aware of.
Yeah, I realise that, but I'm just getting that in at the same time.
This is a situation,
Yeah.
this is current, this is live,
Yeah.
and this is an opportunity for the people of Plymouth to stand up and say, we're not going to tolerate this anymore. We want to see what we want to see.
Well, you've gone through hardship in the council.
I've been here 22 years. I know it's been a challenge. The beauty about being independent really is that we can get up and say what we want to say. We can bring motions in place. We can sit on scrutiny. We can scrutinise them more. I want people to go and have a look at the decision that was made around the landing platform at here for the cruise liners.
Right. And is that Mayflower? Mayflower. I mean, even the Mayflower Steps one. Yeah, that was designed for cruise liners, but it was designed wrong, so it couldn't take them.
But if you have a look at that meeting and suddenly realise that the council gave that away as an asset, the Conservative councillors voted against it, and said no, let them have it. And they gave it away.
So what's your name again? How can people contact you?
So my name's Chaz, and on May the 4th, the city will go to local elections.
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you. Very Star Warsy theme, but this is the first year where people will have to have some form of ID.
Yeah.
Let me just give you that wall. So you can see that there. You have to have some form of ID to go and vote. If you turn up without any ID, you won't be able to vote.
Okay.
However, in order to go around that, you can apply for a voter certificate.
Yeah, I think the last time
it's a bit of a long process.
Okay.
Or you can apply for a. You can fill in one of these applications to vote by post.
Okay.
And you can have that sent indefinitely to you.
Okay.
And they'll send it to you. So go out there, find out who your independent candidates are, vote for them, support them, and because, like I said, we're not whipped. We're not told to toe the party line. We will do what's right for the people.
I want to see a total change in Plymouth, and I want to see a dynamic, energetic
It's going to happen if people get up and fight back.
People say it will never change, but it will, because people like me will do it, and you, hopefully.
It has to.
Kate, hello, what's your name?
My name's Paul.
And what do you hear? What's this mean to you today?
Just to see this total destruction, it's heartbreaking to see it. I was here on Tuesday night when the trees came down. I mean, I've seen people crying. It was to see these machines come in was absolutely.
How many people were arrested?
I believe 2. That was all.
They shouldn't be allowed to be arrested because all they're trying to do is save the.
One was escorted out. There was Lisa. She was on the tree. she got escorted out.
Yeah.
Then our other friend Dave, he did get arrested and spend the night in Charles Cross.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't trust the people that arrested him. They're some of the biggest rogues in the city. Anyway, what do you think of the new plan that's going in?
Rubbish.
Have you seen it at all? Do you think there's anything green in there at all, apart from the new trees, or do you disagree with those as well?
Probably in 20 years' time, 30 years' time, probably yes. But for the next 20, 30 years, no.
Well, I don't see how having a vast amount of concrete can be environmentally friendly to wildlife in any way at all.
Exactly.
And it's not just the trees, it's the wildlife. You know,
It's
over the last...
the wildlife. You can hear, when they have the chainsaws, you can just hear the blackbird in the background.
Yeah.
That blackbird was going through all the chainsaws, and it's the only thing you could hear when the chainsaws stopped.
Yeah,
We've been here since I've seen robins in the trees here, which have been cut down, looking for the nests.
yeah.
On Wednesday, there are some birds in trees there, looking for the nests, and there's only probably one nest down there still, say, with eggs on.
Well, 3 years ago, I did a meditation video of sparrows on the hoe, and listening to the sound of them singing, which is on the video I did earlier on during the week here. And within 2 months, all the bushes that the sparrows were in have been taken out, saying that there was a rat for the excuse that there were lots of rats there. Now, the biggest reason there were rats is because of the terrace cafe at the top, and the rubbish that they were pumping out, and the smell of the rubbish that they were pumping out.
It was the same with here with the waterway.
Yeah.
Closed the waterway down because I said the rats, etc. If that waterway had been maintained,
Yeah.
as it should have done, you wouldn't have had the rats.
Yeah,
And they could have controlled it, but they haven't maintained it at all.
yeah.
When this new one comes up, that I believe, don't quote me, I think they've probably only got maintenance for 2 years.
Yeah.
What happens after that?
Yeah.
Are they going to maintain it again? In 30, 40 years' time, are they going to do exactly the same?
Well, those councillors won't be
They won't be
there.
here for the next lot.
Yeah, they're not thinking for the future at all.
No.
And this sort of vast expanse programme doesn't work in today's age with the financial cuts and the lack of funding. Having a vast spread out area.
And I was just thinking on a Tuesday night how much it is to see all these monsters coming, as we call it, coming. How much that just cost? That's just a taxpayer.
Yeah. Well, apparently there are armed police and everything down here, which is disgusting.
We had armed police.
How threatening.
We had the dogs. Because I nearly got run over by one of the vans, a K9 van,
Crikey.
just down the road there, came
Yeah.
flying past. K9, I think I might be right, there was 2 vans, one was definitely K9 and we saw the dogs.
Yeah.
I heard there was on, I didn't see them, but there were an awful lot of police here, a big police presence.
Yeah. It's disgraceful.
And they wouldn't stop. When they were felling the tree, which is half cut at the top there,
Yeah.
we had a lad who's underneath it.
Yeah.
I now call him Wood Chip Ryan because he's getting covered in all the wood chip.
Yeah.
And the guy who had the chainsaw told the police, "Can you move these people? Because I'm cutting."
Yeah.
And we said, "Well, no, we're protesting, trying to stop you doing it." And the police just wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
In the end, they did stop it, but it took a while for them to. They were literally cut it above his head.
Sorry, carry on.
That's all right. No, that's okay.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, you're on about cutting.
Yeah, they're literally cutting above his head. Yeah, there with the chainsaw. He was trimming the trees. What they do is they trim the trees first of all.
Yeah.
They lop it, and that's before they come in with the big machine and chop it down. He's actually up in the tree, chopping it,
Yeah.
while some of these people stood underneath it.
Yeah.
And we got pictures of him. He was actually covered in sawdust.
Are you from Plymouth originally?
No, I'm originally from Birmingham, long time ago.
Well, I'm from Cheshire originally. I've been down here since 1992.
But my partner, she's a true Janna. She's. Yeah. But no, I'm originally Birmingham and Somerset. I retired from Somerset down to here.
Yeah, other side of Comstock. Well, thanks a lot for your time anyway.
Oh no, pleasure.
If you want to help us support the legal costs on this campaign, get in touch with Straw. StrawPlymouth.com.
Long time passing, where have all the flowers gone? Long time ago, where have all the flowers gone? Young girls pick them, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where When